Hi, I'm Erin, and the purpose of the video today is to demonstrate for other teachers how I myself organize Google Classroom for my students. Now, I've been teaching using Google Classroom for quite some time now, a couple years, for 3, 4, 5 years, not 5 years, 4 years. And Google Classroom is an amazing resource for distance learning, and there are so many ways you can organize your classroom that would best help your students. You as the educator can make an educated decision about what works best for you. So here's just a quick example. And if you are an educator who has any tips or suggestions, we would love to hear them, and it would be such a privilege to be able to share those ideas with other educators watching this channel. So remember, the primary goal of this channel is collaboration. So I'm going to share with you all what I do for my classroom. And again, if you have any suggestions, we'd be happy to hear them. So here we go. Here's a brief tour of the way I organize my classroom.
Okay, so this is my set of classrooms. I teach 7th, 8th grade, and I also teach horticulture. Let's go ahead and take a look at how I organize for our 7th grade class first. Okay, so one important thing to note is that when I organize my classroom, I do it by weeks instead of assignments. Obviously, one exception for that would be something like this laboratory. But for this lab, there was an exception, was our first quarantine week, so I didn't want to give the students something too strenuous, so I just gave them a small mini digital lab, and that was really helpful for them. So for a whole week, they had this assignment. Typically, I'll assign a week like this. I chunk it so that my students don't get overwhelmed with a ton of posts, so I'll click this. So here we have, I label it Semester 2, Week 10. And if you go down below, I'll include all my state standards in this section. I include a rubric, which Google provides you the option of adding that rubric. And then here I have all my assignments for the week. So students will typically take a look at the screenshot I sent them. Monday we had off. Tuesday they need the Punnett Square reading, the Punnett Square questions, reading and the questions, so reading questions. Then they'll need their Amoeba Sisters questions, which I have placed on a Google form. Next, they'll need the Predict the Offspring CK12 link assessment, right, which is provided for them over here. Then on Friday, they have the DNA structure and replication, and finally DNA structure and replication questions, which are also found right here and right here. So as you can see, I provide students with all the resources that they'll need for that week. I provide the screenshot, which I also forward to parents and guardians, with the estimated time of completion for each project. And this will help the parents and guardians be able to help keep their students on track, as well as provide students a guideline for what resources that they need and their overall objective. Okay, so once again, so I group my science classes by week. I include the state standards rubric, and then finally all their resources along with a screenshot of the predicted times, objectives, and the materials and assignments that they need from this resource bank. So hopefully that is a good resource for you. If you have any other questions about how I organize my classroom, typically in these sections are due dates, but since we have spring break this week, no due dates for this week. All right, that's it, and hope that was helpful. I look forward to your input on what you do for your Google Classroom.